hostel?
Well, first of all, you are mistaken by saying that it is a government hostel. This is not a government hostel. This is done by a private entity who is going to build the hostel and be managed privately. What the government is interested in, obviously, is to try and put people like workers in it, and also people who, like you have just stated, people who have issues, social issues. But that will have to be a contract between the government when the housing, for example, need some accommodation that we will negotiate with the private entity that runs the hostel. And that's why Mr. Bosano was saying that it's not the government that's building the hostel. The government is interested, very interested in having this hostel because it gives us a space to put in all our or people who might have problems.
How many beds, then, are you thinking of
Well,
negotiating?
look,
Any idea?
okay, we tend to think that the issue is like, hundreds of parents wanting to have accommodation. It's very few and far between. The problem is not as acute as it seems or is wanting. People are saying. I mean, I didn't see the Viewpoint program, but I can understand because in my clinics, I have lots of parents who come to me and say, look, I want a house. I've been kicked out of my house, either the wife or the husband. I want to see my children. But this is a very alive thing. How do we give somebody who has just within a week is now out of the house and wants to see the children? Housing is a long-term issue,
But what people
not
are
a
looking,
short-term.
yes, but people are looking for short-term remedies.
And therefore, the hostel would be like a place where the person can go if they need, for example, if they're unemployed or the issues that they might have in not being able to afford paying for a hotel. You would have the hostel where the government can negotiate with the private entity and say, right, okay, if I have a problem, we do it now. But it's obviously very, very small. We do it with the Emil Hostel.
That is resolves one situation in which a parent that has left the house, and more often than not it's the father, will have somewhere to stay, possibly, but it doesn't actually resolve the issue of parental alienation, because in these accommodations you can't really have your children staying with you, can you?
And how do we expect then to accommodate a person who has left the wife or the husband for the housing stock? What do we have then? I cannot, as a housing minister, have 20 or 30 flats available so that the parents can then live with their children. Anyway, there's court